Hello everybody and welcome to Andrew's Theories. Well, I guess today's really isn't so much a theory as it is a possibility or a hopeful maybe of a somewhat, God I hope. Screw it, it's a theory. Welcome to Andrew's Theories, a video series where I look at and talk about things that could possibly happen and how I see them happening and the foreshadowing thereof. I know it's been a while since I've done a theories video, and for good reason. I haven't had anything to actually sit down and think about. Not for lack of trying. But anyway, I actually came up with a pretty great idea for a theory, and I really got to thank one of the people that I follow on Twitter and that I subscribe to their channel, and I talk to them every now and then. Oversized Tit Lover here on YouTube, aka Suzuku X7, or XX Suzuku X7XX on Twitter. They put up a video, what would you like to see in Manyuu Hikenchou Season 2? Now, to start off with, Manyuu Hikenchou only has one season. It was a one-season Ichi anime series, which I actually admit is really good. I actually like it. Not so much for why everyone else likes it, which is, and I'm just going to get it out of the way now, the giant boobs. While, yes, those are a bonus, I actually kind of like it for the story, the plot, the swords, the action. It's actually quite good. The boobs are just icing on the cake. The cake being the plot, the story behind it, the whole tyrannical behavior of the one clan wanting to take over the world and rule it with an iron fist. And again, the boobs are the icing on the cake. I'm dead serious on this. I really do like the story. So, watching his video, it kind of got me thinking, what would I like to see in a Season 2 of Manyuu Hikenchou? And then it kind of dawned on me that this would be a pretty cool idea for Season 2, and I put it up in his comments for the video, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to up and do a video explaining what I'd like to see in the second season of Manyuu Hikenchou. I mean, it's not that difficult. So what would I like to see in Season 2? Well, for starters, a continuation and some closure. There are a few things that we weren't exactly given at the end of the first and only season, and the OVAs that followed didn't really help tie anything up either into a nice tight bow. Namely, what happened with Chifusa's half-sister, what happened with the Chi-Chi-Nagari, or the breast flow technique, what happened to the entire subplot of the Manyuu clan? I mean, are they going to keep going after her for all eternity? What about the samurai lord that wanted her? What happened to him? Did he just give up his ambition and walk off somewhere? I mean, he had a chance to finally get what he wanted. She wanted to thank him for saving her, but he declined it. So my question is, what happened to him? What happened to a lot of the people that interacted with her throughout this adventure? Those are questions that we have yet to get answers to, and probably sadly won't unless another company wants to take up the rights to this, but I don't see that happening with... Yeah, I don't see that happening. So, what would I like to see, though, for a second season? Well, this is what I kind of have theory-wise as to if there would be a second season, how it would be epic. So while you had the original season, which ended with Chifusa learning to control, or at least have an idea of how to control the Chi-Chi-Nagari, she doesn't actually have mastery over it. She used it one time with her hand. That was it. That was the complete and utter control of it. Even going through the OVAs, which, by the way, there were a lot of them afterwards that took place, I'm guessing, in between episodes as well as after the episodes aired, and after the final one, that it honestly, to me, did not feel like an ending. So there's that. So how I kind of see it happening is that she's still training to completely master the technique. Kade is still with her, her loyal, bumbling sidekick, hoping to one day get back what was lost to protect her in the first place. Then you have her half sister, sort of off in the distance, realizing that she has to do whatever she can to make sure that the younger sister gets revived so that she can get back what was taken from her. In case you're wondering what was taken from both the girls, it was their boobs. The half sister got hers taken from in the first episode when Chifusa had to defend herself, and Kade was the same way, unfortunately, because she tried to protect Chifusa by not telling the Manyuu clan where she was. She was sort of executed by having them removed via the Manyuu technique. Or I should say via the other technique, to just completely remove, not grow. So you'd have that. Meanwhile, the Manyuu clan is still searching high and low to get their hands on her, but not for the reasons that she has been led to believe. This is where this season could definitely take an entire spin and make the whole series 100% interesting, if not better than it was in the first place. So, instead of having just the Manyuu clan chasing her, there's a second clan. The clan that Chifusa is born from. What her mother's bloodline was. They want Chifusa because they want to take over the world. Now that they know that somebody actually can control the Chichinagari, they want that power. They want her. The Manyuu clan wants her as well. So it's just a constant struggle to see who's going to get her first. The clan that's been chasing Chifusa, which I'm pretty sure, if memory serves, was the Manyuu clan, so I'm just going to keep calling them that, from the first season, wants to find her to protect her, not what she believes. This can be led from multiple things, including some stuff that we saw in the first season. Whereas the second season would be the other side of that coin. The other group wants to have her purely for what she can do. And why they want her power is simple. If she has the ability to both take and give, then what they want is to take the boobs of all the lower class people and give it to nothing but the upper class echelon. Like the teenagers, the young adults, the ones that will have the power once they're gone. They want to completely usurp the world order by making them in charge of it instead of the other way around. Whereas what the Manyuu clan wants, or at least the clan that's been chasing Chifusa, wants to keep things the way they are, but they just want to find her so that she doesn't get taken by the other group. That would be the interesting plot point for most of the second season. You would have some interesting little side stories here and there about other towns that they come across, people that know people that they came across in the first season, the story and the legend of the girl with the breast flow technique and stuff like that, all culminating to what I'd like to call the proper ending for 3 episodes. The first of which, Chifusa gets captured. Now, mind you, after one heck of a fight that she puts up, at her, Kade, and her half-sister put up one heck of a fight, only for Chifusa to get captured anyway. This leading into the second episode, where Kagura, her half-sister, realizes that they're going to need help in order to get her out and free her. She faces the opportunity of going back to the Manyuu clan to demand their help. She wants to save Chifusa at all costs. Kade wants to do the same, but instead of going the route that Kagura is going, she goes back to all the people that they had interacted with in their journeys, trying to get any of them to help out. Kade comes across a tremendous amount of their friends and gets them to come and help her, including the diver from the deep sea village, the samurai, not to mention many others that just want to help her out because of all the good deeds she did, including the innkeeper from the second episode. Meanwhile, Kagura is dragging the entire Manyuu clan right to the center of where this other clan is, while they, on the other hand, have already begun their evil plan. They are forcing Chifusa to use the Chichinagari against her will. forcing her body to absorb as much as they can from the poor peasants in the lower class that live around their little area, to force her into a state that her body cannot move of its own free will, where she basically is nothing but literal breast flesh. She's not able to move or anything else. Basically their way of keeping her captured, while at the same time telling her that if she doesn't do the technique, everyone she loves and cares for will be destroyed or killed. She goes along with their plan, giving, I want to say, the other group's monarch or queen or something, the larger status symbol, and same with some of the other ones, slowly diminishing her own until they bring in more peasants and more lower class to force hers bigger again. This way they can use the breast flow technique the way they want. She has no choice but to comply because she can't go anywhere. She can't fight. She's literally pinned to the floor. She can try as much as she wants, but she's not going to leave the room that they have her in. All this leads up to the third and final episode of the series, which could technically end at season 2 if it would ever get made and give everybody closure, where the Manyuu clan, led by Kagura, and the ragtag group of rebels led by Kade storm the opposing group's castle to rescue Chifusa. The other group, immediately realizing what's going on, decide to try to move Chifusa or keep her sealed at all costs. This leads to an epic battle where you see plenty of action happening, and Chifusa realizing that everything she's done up to now has been completely selfish, wanting to change the ways of the world instead of just actually doing what she should have done in the first place and not picked up a sword at all. She should have just done what her mother wanted her to do and live her life. Unfortunately, she realizes this, and as she's wallowing in her sorrow while the battle's continuing outside, her mother's spirit comes to her, comforting her in her time of need, telling her that it's okay. What you've done may not have been the path that I wanted you to take, but it's a path that I believe you were right to take. And helps Chifusa in a way that you would never realize, as her mother's spirit guides the spirit of the breasts that were taken forcibly by Chifusa in her current condition away, allowing her to regain mobility so that she can join the fight. Chifusa enters the fray, taking on the leader, just as Kagura and the head of the Manyuu clan show up to also help out. It becomes a 3-on-1 battle, with them finally realizing what they have to do to end this. The head of the Manyuu clan decides to sacrifice himself in order to protect his 2 daughters, his actual daughter Kagura and his half-daughter Chifusa. Doing so makes it so that the entire series ends on a happy note. Chifusa doesn't have to worry about using the Chichinagari anymore. She uses it one last time to give Kade and Kagura back what they had lost, and one more time to restore the breasts of one other person that she had taken, but doesn't want them back. Chifusa then decides to just pick a nice quiet spot to live her life of peace and tranquility. Unbeknownst to her, a fiery blonde has decided to follow her once again, sticking high into the trees until Chifusa slices one down with her sword. As Kade falls out of the tree, she realizes that it's her and demands to know why she's following her. The series ends with Kade explaining that they've gone and traveled together for so long, she doesn't know what to do with herself anymore, and decides she still wants to be by her side forevermore. The 2 of them walk off, deciding to make a life together, or at least find a place to call home. And that's personally what I think could happen with the second season of Manyuu Hikenchou. I think it would be really well made if it's done right. The action in it would be interesting, not to mention a subplot to kind of throw the story from the first season into complete turmoil and kind of gives some explanation as to why the Manyuu clan wanted her in the first place. Why were they determined to get their hands on her? Why were they determined to kill anyone from her mother's actual birth line? Why they were determined on this, and it would make more sense. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think my theory holds water for what would make a good second season for Manyuu Hikenchou? Or was it fine the way it was? Because I kind of like the first season, but I would love to see a continuation of this. There's still some story that needs to be told. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been Andrew's Theories.